The prenatal reminder sent to my phone blew up our morning. At 6:08 a.m., my phone told my girlfriend I was about to become a father with someone who wasn't her. "Hi Jay, see you at 11:20 for your ultrasound," the text read, complete with a tiny confetti baby bottle. "Parents on file, A. Klein and J. Hale. Reply yes to confirm, no to reschedule. Harbor Women's Care." Sasha stood at the counter, bare legs, oversized hoodie, coffee cooling in her hands like a threat. She runs a tenants clinic that turns broken leases into court orders. I manage other people's fires and keep spare keys for doors that pretend to be puzzles. Between us, we like receipts more than dramatics. This wasn't a receipt. It was a grenade with manners. She slid the phone back to me with 2 fingers and none of her face. "Say it," she said. "Honeysuckle," I said, adding our ridiculous password and loving what it does to the air. The room reassembled around us instead of around the text. "I didn't sign a form," I added. "I didn't go to an appointment last night. I don't even have an A. Klein in my contacts unless you count that photographer who hates flash." Sasha looked at the message again, then at my face like a courtroom that hadn't picked a verdict yet. The second buzz landed with timing that should be illegal. "Unknown number. For dignity, consider sitting tonight out. We'll handle Harbor North without spectacle. Sable at Murmur." Of course it was Sable. Murmur Lab sells shortcuts as strategy and invoices as inevitability. Tonight the commission would vote on Verdant's newest trick, reclassifying 3 hotel floors as wellness micro-residences, which counts as housing if you keep a yoga mat under the bed and an app that claps for your naps. Sasha wrote the memo that nodded their votes. I was scheduled to testify that Crown's Care Sync didn't understand consent, just export formats. A scandal buys Verdant a month, and Sable a salon at Sky Lobby with canapes and prompts. "Jono," Sasha said, already moving. "Then Harbor Women's, then whoever thought a uterus was a lobbying tool." Jono lives above a bakery and treats forensic software like religion. By 6:26 the text was mirrored on his screen next to Crown. "Care Sync spec, all sunny verbs and bad nouns." "Not the clinic," he said after a minute. "The SMS gateway. See the header." Crown's CareSync forwarded a courtesy reminder when someone created a pre-registration with your name and insurance token. The clinic system thinks it's doing kindness. The message looks real because it partly is. "How'd they get my token?" I asked. "Glade," he said grim. "That pop-up wellness fair last week. The QR table with free electrolyte sticks and a get your free baseline sign. You scan their waiver from your work phone. Murmur bought the ad placement, Crown hosts the form. They ask for name, birthday, carrier, last 4 of policy ID. Enough to spin up a ghost chart." Sasha's jaw tightened in that way that makes landlords remember to behave. So a lobbyist registered a fake pregnancy to steal a calendar. "Worse," Jono said. "They registered a real appointment in the clinic's sandbox. Crown's dev environment leaks into production if a partner has priority testing turned on." He swiveled to his other monitor. "Here, the webhook call. Payload includes your name and A. Klein and the phrase patient prefers discreet check-in. That adds an SMS flag. If you reply yes, it cements the appointment and locks the time slot." My phone buzzed again, as if the day were sampling itself. "Unknown number. We can reschedule after the vote. Reply stop to opt out. HWC." Sasha grabbed my wrists and pressed my palms to the cold stainless of the island. "Breathe," she said. "We call the clinic. We call Kira. We call the chair. Then we make time to do the one thing Murmur can't counterfeit." I grinned because I still don't deserve how she loves me. "Before or after the clinic?" I asked. After, she said, so I don't have to argue emotion while you're still on my tongue. Harbor Women's Care sits on the third floor of a building that remembers when stairs were declarations. The front desk nurse had that fluent kindness clinics hire on purpose. When Sasha showed the text and said my full name in her lawyer voice, kindness turned into competence. Let me pull the chart, the nurse said, clicking with satisfying speed. Aha, pre-reg at 5:58 a.m. sandbox tag attached, but oh crown. She looked up with a sympathy I wanted to send to 1,000 places at once. CareSync pushed a test record live. We are very sorry. We have reported this feature so many times I could file the ticket in my sleep. A physician in sneakers came out with a coffee and an apology already forming. We can document for the commission, she said. We'll sign that this was a phantom registration, and I will be at that hearing in scrubs if anyone tries the word dignity in my ear. You run a clinic, Sasha said. You know dignity belongs to bodies, not calendars. We left with a letter on letterhead, and the kind of raw focus I only get when the day thinks it knows what we're made of. Kira met us at Sky Lobby like a curator, forced to choose between her job and her conscience for the second time this month. Verdant booked a salon, she said, sliding a folder across the blonde wood. Prompt cards say what is home if not wellness, and where does intimacy live? I say it lives off my floor. She tapped a page. Here is Crown's pitch deck for CareSync to hospitality partners. Includes concierge reminders for VIP guests. I didn't like it when they presented it last quarter. I like it less at 6 a.m. Sasha scanned, nodded, smiled without cheer. You'll testify, she said. Kira's mouth tilted. I'll apologize, she said, and I'll testify. Our brand can learn to be boring on purpose. We had 40 minutes before the chair would text, bring that. We used them the way we always do when murder or marriage has been suggested by strangers. Sasha backed me into the hallway, slid her hands under my hoodie, and made policy with my spine. It wasn't obscene. It was infrastructure. She climbed into my lap and put her mouth on the hinge under my collarbone like a signatures clerk stamping a permit. When she said say it, I did, because rituals save ballots. Honeysuckle. By 9:10, the chair's aide had our packet. The clinic letter. Jono's screenshots of the webhook with my name duct taped to a ghost. Crown's CareSync slide with the line partner-triggered concierge SMS, circled like a bruise, Kira's deck, and Sable's text inviting me to sell my calendar for dignity. The hearing room felt like a chest inhaling. Verdant's counsel said vibrant. He said wellness. He said micro-residences as if vowels were zoning rights. Crown's manager sat like a man who had just discovered his product could be used for evil and dinner reservations. Sable leaned against the back rail, unrepentant, alert, interested. Mr. Hale, the chair said. I held up the baby bottle confetti on my screen, and then the clinic letter that said no in more words. This morning Crown's CareSync sent me a prenatal reminder for a child that does not exist, I said. Murmur Labs planted the registration with my name, and an invented mother to sell you the word postpone. Harbor Women's Care calls it a sandbox leak. We call it a policy problem. We do not stop process because a vendor can write a body into a calendar. Sasha followed, clean as a ledger. Clinic first, she said. Escrow with teeth. Cameras that go blind within a block of any door marked clinic. Band partner triggered concierge anything in city agreements. And please write this sentence where everyone can see it. No staged intimacy, medical, financial, physical, or representational, shall be used to influence public process. Kira stepped into the well and did the only version of her job I can admire without footnotes. Sky Lobby cancels tonight's salon, she said. We apologize for the part we played in believing conversation could be curated outside daylight. Crown's care sink is turned off at all our properties. We will not hold your dignity like a canapé. Sable didn't clap. She watched like a student who hates the curriculum and respects the teacher. We vote, the chair said, tapping her gavel as if it had been waiting to be honest. The overlay failed. The ordinance we've been carving out of other people's drama finally lived on paper. Escrow lands before a single wellness, floor touches a tax credit, Crown's care sink, and any partner-triggered concierge messaging are illegal in developments that want public money. Cameras go blind within a block of care. And the line I'm framing over the kettle, no simulated intimacy in pursuit of public approvals. After, in the alley where rooms go to cool and people remember how to be smaller in a good way, Sable leaned on Brick and looked at us like she'd been made to eat her own appetizer. "You too are a terrible market for my services," she said. "We're decent at not being sold our own lives," Sasha said. "Try escrow next time. Try verbs. Try apologizing before your invoice." Sable grinned in that way that makes me think she was very good at being 13. "Tell the chair I admire her," she said. "Tell Crown I admire their survival instinct. Tell Kira she made the right mistake." "You could stop," I said. "I could," she said. "Then who would keep you too interesting?" We walked home with our hands in each other's back pockets because rumor likes parades, and I prefer ours. The neighborhood thread posted a photo of a dark billboard with the caption, "Some lights learn." Mrs. Alvarez texted, "I trust your bed more than your apps," and I believed her. We taped the clinic letter inside the cupboard with the other ugly receipts, door logs, QR menus, lipstick bands that weren't ours, folios for rooms under duct work, the silhouette that glowed wrong. Not trophies, topography. Later, in the blue slice the city cannot monetize, Sasha lay across me and put her ear where my chest tells the truth in a language older than the law. "Do you forgive me for the blink?" she said, before the word worked. "I forgive us both for being animals with phones," I said. "The point of a good lie is to find who still blushes." "You blush," she said. "Only when you cross-examine me like that," I said. "There will be more reminders," she said. "There will be," I said. "Bring your knot, bring your mouth, bring the word. We'll make morning honest again."